Welcome to Gareth Jones on Speed. Before I introduce my guests, I have a complaint. Why are pits in Formula One called pits? Why? There are no pits. You go into the garage. A pit is what you park your car over to get underneath it to fix it, isn't it? It's true.
Isn't that why they're called pits? I mean, I don't know.
They don't have any. They don't actually have a pit in
but
there.
That is the but that, okay. I guess we're just stating the bleeding obvious, but presumably that's where the name comes from, because the pits are where you have an examination pit, a thing to, you know.
That is the voice of Zog and the voice of Richard. What do you say on this matter? Richard Porto, great font of knowledge and reason.
Well, I'll just say that sometimes...
Not reason,
I think you confuse me with someone else.
Yeah.
I think sometimes words just take on a new meaning, don't they? And it's acceptable for that to happen. And I would also struggle to think of a new word for
I'm going to
pit.
sue Bernie Ecclestone.
The stopping place.
Yeah.
Petrol and tyre place.
The breakdown place.
Petrol and tyre place. Hang on, that means that.
Quick Fit. How about that?
If it was run by NASA, it would be called the Vehicle Preparation Zone, wouldn't it?
The
Yeah,
VEZ.
they do go for very literal thing. Vehicle assembly building.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's
What
right.
do they
Great-
call it? Big crawler? The biggest tracked vehicle.
Crawler. The
It's just
crawler.
called crawler.
The big crawler.
LC1 and LC2. Yeah, that's what the L stands for.
Superb parody
Large.
of NASA literalness in The Simpsons once, where they showed a rocket launch and they went 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, make rocket go now.
I remember that when he was the first ordinarionaut.
Yes.
I remember it well.
My absolute favourite joke from that episode was when at the end of it, Homer goes, "Do you know what? Maybe I did have the right." Oh, what's that stuff?
This is going to be one of those episodes of GJOS, which is a bit freeform. And I'm going to start off with a freeform thing that Zog explained to me. You had a dream.
It was a confession that I had actually had a dream involving Luca de Montezemolo. And I mean, it wasn't one of those kind of
Did you make
dreams.
happy sexy down?
No, it was just. I can't remember quite how the bits of the dream that went around this went. You know, this is the way that we dreams go. But I was standing over Luca de Montezemolo, whose head appeared to be coming sideways out of a concrete block, and I was berating him for
It's an Italian
having.
thing.
I mean, I don't know why, but this is what happened. And I was just having a go at him for being the revelation about how Ferrari had a veto over certain changes in F1 rules, and this had previously been secret. And I was just having a go at him about it, understandably. And
But his head was coming sideways out of a concrete block.
his head was definitely coming out of a concrete block. Either that, or I was one story above him in somewhere like Monaco, and I was kind of leaning out of a balcony window, and he was leaning out of the window below me and looking up. But I think it was a concrete block.
It's very worrying. What does that say?
I wouldn't even know where to begin.
I mean, have you not had any dreams involving major motorsport personalities?
You have car dreams, don't you, all the time, don't
Just
you?
me, then,
I
I
have
guess.
car dreams. I do remember once where I was in a sort of like a design studio, and I think it was at Jaguar, possibly. It was a bit hard to tell, in that way that dreams are vague and misty sometimes, and you might think that you were at Jaguar, and then it turns out that you're at Nestle, and then it turns out that you're at NASA.
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
turns out you're one member of S Club 7 or something. You're just never quite clear. And then
they get
Laura
awfully
Hurd
slippery
tells
when
you
you
to
actually
eat your
try and-
cheese. And it's just-
Which member were you ever?
I don't know. That's a different
Hannah?
debate.
Is it? Ooh.
Well, no, because if I was Hannah, then I wouldn't be able to look at Hannah because I'd be
yeah.
Hannah. It'd be irritating.
You'd
I
never go out, though, would you?
do I have to be? I don't have to be a girl though. If I'm in S Club 7, do I? 'Cause
Well, it would be a disappointment.
I can't remember
to
any of
be
the
one
blokes
of
that
the
have S Club
Well,
7.
there you go. So go on.
So I was in some kind of design studio, but there were no cars there, and people were around, but no one seemed to have noticed. So I thought, wow, I can go and look at some secret new cars. And then someone came up to me and went, "I'll tell you all the secrets of our new cars," and leant into my ear. And then, sometimes your brain is able to shut out the noise from an alarm until such a point as it deems it somehow amusing to feed it into your ears.
Yes, yeah.
And someone leant into my ear and went, beep, 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 and it was my alarm going off. It's really weird.
Wow.
That was a
Wow.
long time ago. That was
It
quite a
crossed
few years
over.
ago.
Two dreams. The second weirdest was that on the night before my debut as a pit lane reporter for A1GP some 4 years ago, at Brands Hatch, I dreamt I got the drive for Team Lebanon.
Actually, not as far-fetched as you might think.
The colours were right.
Lebanese driver Gareth Jones.
Red, white and green. It kind of looks like the Welsh flag at a bit of a stretch. And I'm, in a way, I'm kind of glad that it didn't manifest, because Khalil Bashir drove in that race and he famously went off at the first corner in a huge incident with Enrico Toccocello. I love saying that name. And he spun and landed upside down, and it's a famous picture. So I had that on my computer desktop for many years. And then the weirdest dream I ever had was that I had a podcast about cars, and people used to download it and listen to it.
Blimey.
It was actually real.
Plausible.
It certainly was. But that wasn't why we have convened to chat today. I don't know if you know, but Gareth Jones on Speed has got a Facebook fan page now. If you do the Facebook, you'll know one of those things that you get from time to time, which is 5 things that you feel important about, or which member of Slade do I least look like? These sort of these things that they ask you.
Who was the 5th member of Slade? As far as I'm concerned, it's you. Anyway,
actually, I think it was.
You are the 5th Slade.
Thank you. That's made me very happy, that is. I regularly dream I'm in Slade, by the way. I do regularly. I kid you not. Regularly. So there was one which got my attention. I've only filled out one of these things once before. 5 famous people. I think I put Richard Porter, Zog, Violet Berlin, and Leon our cat. I left the 5th one, but the one I did fill in was 5 cars I wish I had in my garage. And I'll go first on this one because I thought I'd be a bit controversial on this. I'll pick cars no one else would pick. So I started off with the Chrysler, or if you like, Talbot Matra Simca Rancho, which we've all agreed was a great car in its day, but ridiculous. Then I chose the Bond Bug, which I always thought was a fantastically cool car, but went backwards.
The thinking man's smart car?
Yeah, or the unthinking man's.
As no one ever describes.
Love the Bond Bug. The third one was the Ssangyong Rodius. Ssangyong, yeah.
Like Studio.
Yeah, the Ssangyong Rodius, because it is just the most ridiculous looking car, really. It's just awful.
One that's got like the sort of...
The extra...
double-decker.
Yeah, a bit like the Columbus, Shisharo's Columbus concept. What's it called? I've forgotten what it's called.
That is the Rodius, I think.
Is it the Rodius?
But I was also, yes, because the Rexton is the actually not that ugly 4x4.
Yeah.
And there's another one, the Chiron.
The Chiron,
which is actually was the sort of BMW X6 development prototype that no one seems to have noticed was there before, and had the stupid idea of a 4x4 coupe.
Yeah. I put it in because the Rodius is the ridiculous-looking one. I like that. And then the Multipler, which I love, and a lot of people think it's ugly.
I'm terrible for ugly cars. These aren't cars you really want in your garage.
Yeah, I thought
to make mischief.
Thought I'd be exactly. You know me. And then finally the Pontiac Aztek.
No.
No, that truly is a horrible, horrible car. The others I could live with,
I
but
dread
not
to
that.
think when you do those things, which people seem to be doing a lot at the moment on Facebook, those 5 things. You get to 5 girls I really fancy, and you're just going to go for like Thora Hurd, and,
lovely,
Kathy
and
Staff, and Whittaker, Hazel Blears.
Oh, please stop it! It upset me now. Go on, Richie. What are your 5 cars then? Keep it short. It's a list. It's not a whole description. It's a list. You're allowed to one word to explain each one, or one reason.
One word. Oh,
well, one.
All right, no, I've just scribbled this down to post-it note. Number 1, a new Range Rover, because I was driving one last week and I just thought, these always make you feel nice. Driving one of these, it sounds pathetic.
So it's a car you really, really want.
Just, I know they're politically unacceptable.
Anyone?
Well, I was driving the supercharged one. I think that's a bit silly. The V8 diesel's perfectly good. In fact, the supercharged one, can I just divert for a moment?
Go on.
The ride's too jiggly.
Oh,
actually,
really?
Bizarrely. I don't know why. I didn't know they'd done anything to the suspension. I guess they had.
Hardened it up a bit for the extra power.
Jiggly. And then I drove very, very briefly drove the V8 diesel. Much nicer. The second one, also on a bizarrely on a Rover tip, Rover P6, because I've seen one for sale, which I was saying before we started recording that I had real pangs about and really, really wanted to buy this week. I just think they're fabulous cars.
This is the one that makes you look like you work in the War Department or the Chancellor.
No, well, they're 60s, really.
Yeah, so the Chancellor's car.
I think, I don't know what they're kind of. They're not really bank managery like those old Rovers. But yes, I'd like to imagine. Car. Well, we were talking as well before we came on about it, because Zog spotted my DVD copy of the
Ipcris file.
And when that guy gets shot in Michael Caine's car, do you remember that sequence?
Yes, at the lights.
Yeah.
Gordon Jackson, in fact.
Gordon Jackson. And that's not a Rover P6. I think it's
no,
it's a Ford Zephyr.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Anyway,
one of their
it's kind of War Ministry car. But no, it's sort of
Yep,
Secret
yep.
Service in the 60s.
Yep.
I digress. I've
Go on,
put an
no.
Elise down as well, and I want to be very specific about this.
Which
It's
one?
a new Elise, an Elise S, the very basic one.
Right, yeah.
I don't hold any truck with this, and I've driven both quite a lot, and I don't like the variable cam thing
Yeah.
on the R. I think it's too hard work. I think
Right.
the Elise is
You
supposed to be
said this
simple
before,
and pure,
actually.
and therefore it's an S. I've also put...
What colour? What colour?
Oh, God, I don't know. You can do them in any colour, can't you, at the moment?
Yeah.
But I
They
think...
call them limited editions, don't they?
They really are limited. They only make one of each because
Yeah.
you've got to get the next limited edition down the line. What colour? I don't know. Dark grey or something boring like that.
Really?
But
Not-
with a red interior. It'd have to have a red interior.
Red
I
interior.
love a red interior. And this, I was going to say, this Rover P6 I looked at online that I've still got pangs over was blue with a red interior. And have you noticed as well?
Civilised.
BMWs, a lot of BMWs and Audis around at the moment, new ones with red interiors. You can order it as an option. A friend of mine's just bought a BMW 330 diesel coupe in black with a red interior. But no, these German manufacturers are doing these new red interiors at the moment. There's a problem. They're too bright. I think they're too red. I think, really, you have to leave this to the British to do it because it's red, but it's just got to be a tone down from sort of crimson.
Oxblood.
Oxblood, exactly. This P6 I looked at, oxblood. That's the way I describe it.
Like the front of my house.
And I would
Oxblood.
like a... Yes, it's true. Yes. I would like an Elise probably with a...
Lovely.
Or brown. I quite like a brown leather interior.
Brown? That's so 70s.
Well, it's kind of...
looks
Vinyl
not
roof. An Elise with a vinyl
Well,
roof.
technically they do.
Come on, where are we? Is that car
I
three?
think I've done three, haven't I? Oh,
Yep.
God. Okay, well, I've just... Because you said quickly think about this and scribble it down just before you turn the machine on.
Yeah.
So I wrote down Rolls-Royce Phantom because I was thinking of a Bentley Arnage, which I'm still thinking about. Mm-hmm. But I think if you're going to have a big old luxury car, you might as well go the full kahuna. And the Phantom, I mean, the looks are dubious, but as an object to own, the quality of it is gorgeous. We were filming something for Top Gear a couple of weeks ago, and we borrowed a Rolls-Royce Phantom drop head for just as a background prop. And it started to rain, and for reasons I won't go into, we had an actor there as well who was doing some stuff that we were filming. And he's wearing a suit, and we didn't want him to get him wet because it would ruin continuity.
I know what you're going to say. You
We
popped
hadn't
open
got-
the door.
Well, there's the thing, we hadn't got any umbrellas. Nobody on the production crew had got an umbrella with them. The chap from Rolls-Royce who'd come to look after the car went, oh, don't worry, popped open the door, popped the umbrella out, and it was a really, really beautiful umbrella as well.
You know this, it's got an umbrella
Yeah,
built into the door.
Yeah, it was fabulous. And I was thinking, I hope he leaves that behind, but
Yeah.
oh no. Oh no. No, he was on that thing like a
On a...
spaniel. I don't
Yeah.
know. I can't think of no, it's not. Terrier, that's the dog I was thinking of.
And the last one?
I don't know. I've written Veyron down, but I think it's a bit predictable. But I suppose what? If it limit the stream garage, but what would I do with
A
it?
Veyron over a McLaren F1?
Well, that's the problem, isn't it? I don't know. This is too difficult. I mean, honestly, this is too difficult. Because there's other cars I'd have, but I like this little smart Roadster, which I used to have. I'd have one of those again, but
See,
yes.
sorry, you've already gone into 6, Richard. You're disqualified. You're not allowed to have any of those cars in your garage.
Do you know what I'd written down and crossed out? Look, there, bear my witness. I'd written down Sirocco because it's the last new car I drove. I drove the I was driving the diesel one,
Do you know
which
what that
was
is?
all right.
That is the car equivalent of the vote for your favourite album.
Yes,
it's
and
the
everyone
one that
always goes,
came
yeah.
out last
Yeah.
week, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. There's always Robbie Williams or something on it. Just thinking, well, there was back in the 90s because it's just like, people just thought of him.
Well, Richard, thank you. We'll find out what Zog's 5 cars he would have in his garage after this.
And the winner of the 1998 Car of the Year is Robbie Williams Angels!
Gareth Jones on Speed, featuring Stiff Petrol, mad as a lorry.
So, Zog, given unlimited resources, the world is listening. What 5 cars would you have in your garage? In reverse order, please.
Well, as you said before, this is one of the things that kind of like lists of albums or lists of your favourite films. It's always changing, and it's kind of it's the 5 that you fix on at the time. I've come up with a slightly older list than you. I've gone for a Citroen Light 15. It's just an absolutely wonderful,
Oh, damn it, I missed
beautiful.
the DS off my list.
yes.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah,
So Light 15,
But you see, the list changes all the time. We just proved it. There we go. So Light 15, just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful car. Always rather hankered after one. Not a convertible, nothing special, just a regular Light 15.
Nice.
So
Called Chugaboom. I just think it looks just like the car that the Antil mob used to drive around in.
I think second would probably be a Porsche 550 Spider. Again, just absolutely beautiful, classic, wonderful lines. Mercedes-Benz 450 SEL 6.9.
Oh, damn it, I missed that off the list as well.
And would you have a driver? Would you have perhaps Sterling Moss drive it for you as well?
I would love to have Sterling Moss drive it for me, but that said, I think it'd be quite fun to drive myself. I think
it might have.
It would definitely be silver. And okay, so I've got 2 left. Bugatti Type 35, going really old school here.
I could have predicted that. I should have said that out
Yeah,
loud.
well, I mean, of course, I just absolutely love the old racing Bugattis. Yeah, Type 35 would be the pinnacle of that. So that's quite an easy choice. And 5th, Aston Martin DB4 Zagato.
Oh, damn it, I missed that off my list as well.
I mean,
Oh, yeah, I'd have one of those.
almost went for a maybe Ferrari 250 short wheelbase. But
stop it, you've gone
I
over
think
now.
I go for.
I forgot Alpha-
It's almost
No, you can't do any
I only
more.
mentioned
Tipo
it.
33 Stradale
Stop
as well.
it.
I forgot that.
Yeah, you
Look, it's
This
my
is too
show.
difficult.
So there you go. Those are my five. Those
It's
are my
my
five
show.
cars,
I
and
can have another 5.
No, you threw them away with your silly choices. You were being silly.
Yeah, okay, here are my 5 sensible choices then. A Lynx Eventer.
Okay.
Another Lynx Eventer.
Oh, you're still being silly.
No. An Aston Martin Lagonda, the William Towns one.
with the digital displays.
Yeah.
And all the
But maybe made into an estate car by Lynx. the people
Yes!
behind the Aventa.
Yes, there was. What was the name? There was a Swiss company.
How to make
was,
a
actually, wasn't
ridiculous
there? There was an estate car.
Even
It
more
looked
ridiculous.
terrible.
They were called Raw
It
or
looked like
something.
it had a conservatory extension shot on the back. Oh,
Fantastic.
Go on. Okay.
I would also have a Bentley GT Speed, the new one.
Is there an estate new one? I don't-
There's going to be. I'm having it worked. I'm having Crayford do it for me.
Not a Lynx.
no, Crayford on this
Just spread it
occasion.
around. No,
And
not
the
a-
last one would be Stratos.
It'd be a Lancia Stratos. Yeah.
The end.
And the winner, the recipient of your votes for the best album of all time is the Toyota IQ given by Jensen Bogdan!
Hello, this is Alan McNish, the wee Jimmy Cranky of Le Mans. You're listening to Gareth Jones on Speed.
On to slightly more important things than the trivia that goes on in our heads on a daily basis. Small matter of a big, long race due very soon now. The Le Mans 24-hour race to be run this year. Probably.
At Le Mans again.
I know, you think...
Show some imagination.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, really, come on, ACO, let's pull your act together.
It could well be the most exciting race yet. It all depends on the Astons. I'm certain that the Peugeots will give the Audis a serious run for their money this year, closer than last year.
Yeah.
Yep.
How well will the Astons do? Who's going to win it, guys? I know we go through this on a regular basis. Being as this is our show nearest to Le Mans, let's predict now.
I've just been around the house on this. Basically, before Audi launched the R15, I was looking at the driver lineups and everything, and looking at the way things have panned out over previous years, and I thought, no, Peugeot are going to win this. Then Audi launched the R15. I looked at it and thought, Audi are going to win it.
Did we talk about this on the show? Or
We
did just
mentioned
talk
it,
about
we
in
have.
real life?
No, both.
I sometimes struggle to
Yeah.
separate one from the other.
It's true.
I told you I had an email from my mate Simon, hello Jobbo, who said you haven't talked about your new Lexus on the show. You just mentioned it a cassette player, and I was like, no, I'm sure we did. And then I remembered that actually it was just a conversation in your kitchen, and there was no recording equipment nearby at the time. I do find it because basically we just have a chat.
That's all that happens.
And I can't remember whether there was a microphone
There's
nearby or
no
not.
demarcation
We
line.
did talk about Le Mans on the show, didn't we? Because
We
you're
did,
right.
we
the,
did,
the
yeah.
R15s
Yeah.
we were going
But
on.
we haven't talked about your Lexus on
They
the show enough.
haven't tested at all, really, or they hadn't done as much testing, and they weren't doing a full race program leading up to Le Mans.
Yeah.
But what they have done has been quite impressive
Well,
still. So.
including winning the 12 hours of Sebring, which
Yeah, yeah.
obviously is one of the things that you would look to in the run up to the 24 hours to give you a hint as to who's going to be quick. And having convinced myself at different points that Peugeot and Audi would win it, I then had about 15 minutes where I thought Aston would win it. And
Yeah.
I still have those 15 minutes coming back to me every now and again.
But it's great
I
that you've
don't
got
know.
3 heavyweight manufacturers battling out at the front of Le Mans now. That's fantastic. Did you hear what Christensen said recently? He's retiring from the DTM, and he reckons that sports car racing is the future, that more and more manufacturers are going to come into sports car racing, and that Le Mans is just going to get even bigger than it is over the next few years. Something we've been saying for a little while. Wouldn't that be great if it was more popular than F1?
So who would you like to see back? I mean, get Bentley back, maybe? And,
That'd be good. Well, Jaguar, on the point of Jaguar, when I'm driving. Have I mentioned this? I'm driving to Le Mans this year in a Jag, an XK150 from the year after Jag 1, which was 1953 with an XK120. So I think that's kind of appropriate. And Zog's Porsche, of course, which have won many times.
Yeah, we've got a nice little convoy there. We're talking about the popularity of Le Mans. In a way, I wouldn't want it to get sort of too much more popular from a kind of crowd point of view, because I don't want it to get too hard to get into the circuit. I don't want to be too busy. It's just about right at the moment. It's got a great atmosphere, but it's not so packed with people that you've got a hard time getting around, or that you feel crowded in all the time.
So if you're thinking of going to Le Mans this year, but you haven't got a ticket or made any arrangements, please don't.
No, it's our race. Clear off. It's a private show for us.
Get off.
For us and 248,000 other mad European and American motoring nuts and the few Japanese as well.
We've said this before, haven't we? But it is the biggest British sporting event, and it's not in Britain.
That's right.
And as much as more Britons go to watch it than any other sporting event, and it's in France. Amazing.
Great. Yeah. Great. I'm so proud of that. I love that.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
So, Richard, who's going to win?
Oh, Lord. I don't know. Do you know what? I can't help feeling that Audi'd probably do it again, because they're almost predictably good under pressure. They know how to do reliability and all that sort of stuff. But, sorry, I'm giving a terribly wishy-washy answer, because I was going to say, but then again, Peugeot might be their year. I don't know. I would have to say
a very strong driver
Aston
lineup.
Are the outsiders. Yes, Peugeot have a strong driver lineup. They've been running up to this. Maybe this year, it's so much down to luck and things. And God, that's a pathetic answer. I don't know. I'm just going to say Panos or someone ridiculous, knowing full well I'm talking rubbish. Audi probably.
All right, I'm with you. Actually, I think Audi will do it. I just think they know Le Mans so well. They know how to win at Le Mans.
They know how to get there.
Yeah,
all that stuff.
Where it is.
There's none of that driving round around the town centre going, where's the track? Oh, what? It's not near the town. Damn it! They don't have any of those problems, which can psychologically damage a team from the off.
Peugeot have found where Le Mans is over the last few years.
They have the home team advantage. They Aston mate.
They don't have to come as far.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah. Aston. Well, I mean, they've been before,
but it is a British race in France, so that should be all right. I think it's going to be. I think it'll be Audi. I think Aston don't stand a chance, but I want them to win because Anthony Davidson's now going to be driving one of those cars, as is Jos Verstappen.
Yes.
Which I'm really, 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 really happy about. But we'll see, and you'll hear all about it here on Gareth Jones on Speed.
If you're there, you might see us wandering around.
Come and say hello.
Please don't speak to us. I'm joking. Last time we went and we were hanging around together, we did with some people came up. Well, some people came up to you because you're off the telly. Nobody came up to me and Zog because clearly, even if they did recognise us, they wouldn't want to speak to us at all. We're patently quite boring. But yes, they do. Come and say hello, and maybe you can come and speak into our machine.
Yeah, we'd like that.
Or just come and speak to us and do what I do and assume that it's gone into a machine, and then remember that actually it hasn't. It's just something that you were having a chat with a person.
And tell us where we can get a good cup of coffee, because in recent years one of the big things, and one of our missions this year is finding all the places where we get a decent cup of coffee this year, because I had a horrible caffeine withdrawal experience.
Yes, it's true. He was very ill.
I've just written a thing. I've just written a 12 things to do at 24 hours for Evo, which is in the sort of current issue of the magazine, and I was polling everyone in the Evo office, and one of the guys there gave me a coffee tip, which became tip number 11.
Excellent.
What is it then?
Come on.
I can't remember now.
Oh, read the magazine.
Hang on, wait here.
Okay.
What?
It's probably still back in here. Rally through the room, and it's here.
We do luckily have a copy of Evo handy. Go on, Richard. What was
more about it because I wrote this. I can't even remember what I wrote. Here we go. Arnage. That's where it is.
Okay.
6 a.m. coffee. I wrote this bit underneath, but that's the main bit. 6 a.m. coffee at Arnage. Roger Green from Evo.
Thank you. All right.
There's been to Le Mans more times than there's actually been a race.
That's pretty committed to the cause. You've been listening to Richard Porter.
Goodbye.
Zog.
Goodbye.
See you at Le Mans, and we'll get you in the mood with this little tune I've prepared in the style of Mike Skinner. Is it from the Streets? Is that his name? Mike Skinner. It's of the Street Racers, and a little song about a very big race. Enjoy. I was Gareth Jones. Ta-ra. All my mates go raving, but I have to admit I'm a bit of a git, and for the last 12 months I've been saving me spondulics to go to a much better bash. A trip to Le Mans doesn't last that long, and it doesn't use all of me cash. Wipe your brow, pal, and forget having showers. You go to a race, mate, that's great, and lasts for 24 hours. We get a ferry from Dover, and after about an hour the cross-channel bit is soon over. We're well on our way, and I'm dead keen to clear customs today. I'm sweating with fear, cause I'm carrying some gear, and I'm glad to be cleared of Calais. Wipe your brow, pal, and forget having showers. You go to a race, mate, that's great, and lasts for 24 hours. A Ferrari flies by and I cry, though I try not to. Oi mate, your car's a brute. We're doing nearly 170 and frankly that's plenty in KPH when you're really travelling and your mind's unravelling in France on an auto route. We pass lots of cool cars on the way to Le Save. I've got plenty of hemp in me bag. The music's so loud, me ears are bleeding. As a driver, I'm speeding, but me passengers are needing to stop for a and a fag. Wipe your brow, pal, and forget having showers. You go to a race, mate, that's great, and lasts for 24 hours. We pull into a little French town, roof's off now, and me windows wound down. I try ordering some food, I hope they don't think I'm English and rude, but as far as French goes, I'm a little unsure. I say, if you please, could I have some bread and cheese? And somehow, I end up getting something they call croque monsieur. We're parked next to a motor with Gulf stickers. I almost wet me knickers. It's blue, but the colour's not quite true. It should be a shade or two darker. I write on it with me felt marker. I know that it's naughty to tag a GT40, but the bloke who drives it's a crap Parker. Wipe your brow, pal, and forget having showers. You go to a race, mate, that's great, and lasts for 24 hours. Another 200 miles and suddenly I'm all smiles. I'm ready for a night not on the airbed but on the tiles. Tents up, time to relax, make tracks full of Centerville. I'm surrounded by Brits in Porsches. Some look sick, others look ill. I'm glad I stayed for the driver's parade. Right in front of me there's an endless tirade. Like Armand Van Helden, a truly international mix. I see Johnny Herbert, Dindo Capello, Jacques Villeneuve, Mika Salo, but most of all I clamp eyes on Vanina X. Wipe your brow, pal, and forget having showers. You're close to the start of a race that lasts for 24 hours. Now I'm hanging from a homemade platform at the back of the main start-finish straight grandstand. Me best mate's beside me. I'm feeling euphoric. I want to hold his hand. I'm coming up now, full of elation. We sing the anthems of every nation. There's 150 drivers. This is going to take ages. I read my Autosport magazine Le Mans guide. The print dances off the pages. And just when I feel I can't take any more, suddenly tens of thousands of horsepower all roar into life. I imagine Vanina's my wife, and there she is, with her pretty little size 6 French foot to the floor. I'm thinking nothing is better, this is ace. Then I realise I'm just at the start of the race. Damn, drat, blast and curses. That means you're going to have to listen to, and I'm going to have to write at least another 5 or 6 verses. Wipe your brow, pal, and forget having showers. You're actually at a race, mate, that's great, and lasts for 24 hours.
And the winner of the F1 Drivers' World Championship 2009 is... Slumdog Millionaire!
Get more info on this show at garethjones.tv. Write to the show on speed at garethjones.tv or subscribe for free at the iTunes Store. Gareth Jones on Speed is made by Whizbang.